Hi, this is Jill from Humu Yoga, and this is the gentle yoga practice. This week, we're working with the theme of Epiphany. So I'm going to take us through a quiet centering, and then I'll go through some inspirational quotes on Epiphany, and then I'll take us through a gentle yoga practice where we're going to work on the shoulders and finding mobility and openness there. And if this is something you really like, please subscribe, because I do a different class every week with a different theme and a different focus. And if you really like the themes, you can go ahead and click on the link below and you can get them in our newsletter. So to get started, just take the hands by the sides and just take a moment to notice how you're sitting. So you really want to be in a comfortable but yet supported seated position. So maybe your legs out here, or maybe you have your feet out here, or maybe you're propped up on a block or blankets. But find somewhere where you can sit tall, and then start to engage the muscles you're sitting on, or pelvic floor. We call that Mula Bandha, and that means root lock. And then with the Mula Bandha engaged, you draw the belly in, and just below the belly button, feel a sense of lifting all the way upward. And that's called Uddiyana Bandha, and that means flying upward. And then at the top of the spine, just draw the chin down, or Jalandhara Bandha, or chin lock. And now you have the bandhas sealed within, and you're supported, so you could let go of the hands, and keeping the bandhas engaged, just focus on the breath. So as you inhale, visualize and feel how the rib cage can expand. And then as you exhale, feel how the rib cage releases and relaxes. Inhale, expansion. And then exhale, just feel the release. And one more big breath in and exhale. Let's take the hands together in prayer position, and we'll vibrate together in Om, and then I'll go through the quotes. Inhale. Om. An epiphany is not a thunderclap. It's often a whisper that says, "You already knew this, you just forgot." In one sudden moment, the light shifts, and what once felt confusing becomes beautifully clear. Epiphanies are the soul's way of reminding you that wisdom doesn't arrive, it awakens. Sometimes a single insight can change the direction of your entire life. An epiphany is the breath between confusion and clarity, the moment your heart catches up with your mind. One of the things that gets me coming back to the mat every morning is that it's where I find so many epiphanies, so many things that become clearer to me. And I think it's because of the breath, the focus, the going inward, finding space and softness. It just brings clarity. So let's find, just make sure you're in a comfortable seat, and we'll just start with the shoulders, since we're kind of focusing on shoulders today. And let's just roll them a little bit. Just notice what's going on in your shoulders today, rolling back and forward. And then let's go the other way. So roll up and back and up and back. You might hear a little noise in there, just some openings. And then from here, keep the shoulders rolling back. We're going to talk about external shoulder rotation and internal shoulder rotation. So what is that? As you reach up and you put your hands behind your head, feel how, if you visualize the shoulder blades on your back, how they're rolling away from your ears here, and you're lifting up, and you feel a sense of almost a back bend, or you can even lift up into more of a back bend. And then now, as we exhale, we're going to round the spine forward and let the shoulders roll forward. And that's more internal shoulder rotation. You can drop your chin. You might get a nice stretch there. Just breathe for a moment. And then inhale, we'll do that again. External shoulder rotation. The shoulders are rolling away from your ears and you're lifting up. And then we come into more internal shoulder rotation. Make sure you're pulling the belly in. And then we lift up. And then from here, reach the arms up. Now from here, elevate so the shoulders lift up, but roll them away from your ears. And then what does it feel like to roll them in and then away? And one more time, in and now away. And when you roll the shoulders away from your ears, you can really get the connection into the back. So it feels really nice, and it takes you out of your neck. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, let's take a side bend to the right. And then from here, we'll take the right hand down. And now I want you to try and externally rotate that shoulder. So you roll it away from your ear and then pull. So you're using your back muscles to pull your body down. This top arm, you could try turning it in and then turn it out. Just kind of nice, just to get a little movement. And then we'll take the head down for a moment. And then maybe straight ahead. And then maybe up. And then rise up. And we'll do the other side. So reaching the arms up. A nice side bend. And then this bottom arm, you want to really roll the shoulder away from your ear and try to pull the floor towards you. So you're using your back muscles to do that. And then this top arm, what does it feel like to kind of roll it in and out? You can do that one more time. In and out. And then keep it rolling away from your ear as you pull. Maybe take your gaze down. Maybe straight ahead. And then up. And then rise up. And then from here, let's reach both arms. Inhale, lift the shoulders, roll them away from your ears, and let's take a twist to the right. So as you do that, you feel this left shoulder roll in and the right shoulder roll open. And if it feels good and you want to, you could take it over to the other knee. So the left shoulder rolls in, the right shoulder rolls out. Turn. And then inhale, reach up. Let's go the other way. So the right shoulder turns in, the left shoulder opens, lift up, exhale, turn, and returning from the ribs. Inhale, exhale, turn. Maybe you want to take your hand here. And then inhale, reach up, and exhale, hands down. Let's go ahead and make our way over to all fours. So we come onto the knees. And then from here, I just want you to feel when you're on your hands and knees, can you roll your shoulders in? Can you roll your shoulders out? Just notice that. How does that feel in your body? And roll them out. Roll them in, and then we'll roll them out and hold. Now we'll start to really round the spine, pull the belly in. I want you to roll your shoulders away from your ears here as you lift up. And then keep the shoulders rolling away from your ears as you come forward and arch. And then we'll do that again. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, and come forward. Arching the back, working the back, opening the front. Come to neutral for a moment. Let's come into Adho Mukha Virasana, or child's pose. The hips are going back, and I'm reaching forward. So let the shoulders elevate, and then let them externally rotate, roll away from your ears. Then let them roll in. Then let them roll away. One more time, let them roll in. Let them roll away. Breathe. And then from here, come onto all fours and just notice where you felt that stretch. So from here, we're going to take it into downward facing dog. So I always practice with a couple of blocks, and a little towel just comes in handy, or you could use a yoga belt. But I'm going to use the blocks for elevation. It just makes down dog a little bit more accessible, especially if your shoulders are tight or your hamstrings are tight. So let's tuck under and take it to downward facing dog. And then make sure your back is lengthened and you're not rounded forward. You could even have your feet quite wide. So if your back is rounded and your hamstrings are really tight, bend the knees, and it's okay to lift the heels. But I want you to really reach through the shoulders. So they're elevated now, right? They're not depressed. They're elevated. Then I want you to play around with those shoulders. We're going to roll them away from the ears. Roll them towards the ears. Away and towards. And now away from the ears, and try and hold that. You could also practice bending the knees and straightening. Bending the knees and straightening until you find a point that you're getting a really nice even stretch. And then we'll come down to the knees. And then from here, we're just going to make our way to puppy pose. So let's go ahead and try to have your knees right under your hips and reach forward. And this is a nice place to feel that internal rotation and external rotation. Open that up just a little bit more. And then find a place where you can just feel that nice back bend, but it's gentle. Maybe a stretch in the shoulders. And then we'll rise up. And from here, we're going to find our way to Virasana. So the knees come together. I'm going to use the blocks because they give me a nice height for my knees. So some of you don't even need a height, or maybe you need a less of a height. I'm going to also take my hand behind my knees and create space here right at the calf. And I just pushing down to create a little space behind the knee. And then I rise up. The ankles are just outside the hips. And I'm feeling the inner thighs roll in here. And this is Virasana. And we can pause here for a moment and just close the eyes and notice your alignment and how you're sitting. And can you find space and clarity and ease here? And now we're going to add some Gomukhasana or cow face pose arms. So I'm going to invite you to use a prop here if your shoulders are stiff. What's nice about this, the arms here, is that one shoulder is in internal rotation and the other shoulder is in external rotation. So starting with the right arm, we reach up, you roll the shoulder away from your ear or externally rotate, bend the elbow, and then the left arm, you internally rotate and bring it up your back. And just come to the place where you can grab your towel. If you don't have one, just use your hands on your back, it's fine. It's just nice to find the connection sometimes because you can walk down a bit. And then once you've found that, lift up and notice how you're internally rotating the bottom arm, externally rotating the top arm, and lift up. And maybe you find a little bit of a back bend. And just breathe there. Inhale and exhale. And then slowly releasing. And we'll go to the other side. So holding on to your prop if you're using it with the left hand, we're going to externally rotate so it's rolling away from the ear. Drop the hand down. Internally rotate the right arm with the right shoulder and find your towel on the right side. And just lift up here. Really lift up. So I'm externally rotating this left arm, internally rotating the right arm, and lifting. And breathing. Breathe. And then slowly release. Hopefully that felt good. Let's try a little bit of a back bend here. So just take a moment. Angel arms. So angel arms are external rotation. Open that up. Lifting up, lifting up. If you want to, you can reach the arms. Breathing, 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 breathing. And then we bring it back. And then there's something really nice about a prayer position where maybe your shoulders come forward a little bit, you're bowing in, and just stay in that energy. And then we'll slowly go ahead and make our way to seated. So I'm going to come off the blocks. And I'm just going to come to the side and come to seated. And then from here, let's go ahead and take the legs out in front of us. And we'll come into this nice diamond shape. And we'll take a breath in here and exhale and just gently round forward. Pull the belly in. If the shoulders come forward, that's okay. Maybe you want to use a block. And just let your body hang out here. And breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And then inhale, rising up. Let's go to Paschimottanasana. So the legs out in front of you, sitting up. You want to keep your low back engaged. So if your back is rounding, bend your knees a little and try and sit up. And then let's take the legs a little apart and try to straighten your legs as best you can. You can always sit up on a block too. And then let's do the same thing here. First we come forward, draw the shoulders back, externally rotate. And then when you've gone as far as you can, then you can just bow in and release. And try to straighten your legs so there's engagement going on. And breathe. When you're bowing in like that, it's so much softness happening and release. So let's go ahead and make our way down to the floor. So sitting up tall as best you can. If you need to bend the knees, that's okay. We start to curl down, pulling the belly way in as you do this. All the way down. And then once we're down, we'll go ahead and bend the knees and take a breath in here and exhale. Let's just lift up into a bridge. See if you can maybe grab your mat, roll your shoulders open. So there's your external rotation. Maybe you walk in and lift up. Some of you might be able to interlace. And you feel that external rotation, chest is opening. And then we'll release. We'll come down. And now we'll do an articulating bridge. It's really nice. So we're really gonna stretch out the spine here by tucking under, engaging the back of the legs, pulling the belly in, lifting way up, and then reach your arms, really reach. Reach, you can even elevate, externally rotate, and then slowly start to come down, curl the spine, really pull the belly in, curl the spine all the way down. And then the hands can come down. And then from here, we're gonna take a twist. So we're gonna lift the hips up, and I want you to shift them to the right, and then let your arms go out to the side. And from here, the knees come up, and we're going to take them over to the left. And then let this right shoulder roll open for a moment. You can gently take your hand to your knees, and then let it externally rotate. Do that again, let it internally rotate, and then let it externally rotate. And maybe you want to take your head in the direction of your right hand, or maybe straight up. And then we'll come back. And then now we'll lift the hips up, shift them to the left. Let the knees come up. Watch what happens to the shoulder. The knees come over. That's totally normal, okay, if that happens. So roll it in, and then externally rotate it. Try it again. Internally rotate. And then externally rotate. And then just let your twist happen. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale. And then bring everything back. You can take a moment here. If you want to get a glute stretch, you can pull in. Just do what feels good in your body. Opening the knees. Some of you might want to go a little deeper and cross deeply. Bring in. Relax the neck and shoulders. Or maybe you're just here. Do the other side. You're starting here, pulling in. Maybe you want to cross. And it's okay to rock around a little here too. And then we'll release and find your way into a Shavasana. So whatever that looks like, just make sure you're just letting go into softness where you can find clarity. There's nothing bothering you in your mind. You're just enjoying the space. And stay in that. And you can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. But I'm going to go ahead and take us out. So just start to become aware of your breath. And then without changing anything, you can move fingers and toes. And start to make your way into a fetal position and pause there. And then slowly coming up to seated. And I always just love to finish class the same way I started, same position, and just notice what's going on now in your body, in your mind, as opposed to the beginning of class. Are you in a place of more clarity? And let this theme of epiphany and clarity resonate in everything you do. Namaste.